Hey, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles halftime show. Wulf, Fran, Duffy here to talk about the Eagles taking a 14-3 lead into the second half after surrendering a field goal at the end of the half there. Could have been a touchdown, but Theo Johnson called for a push-off. Fran, another slow start for the Eagles offense. They continue to not be able to score in the first quarter, 3 punts on the first 3 drives, but then a 55-yard run by Saquon Barkley sort of lets the steam out. They get us a touchdown, and then later, the next possession, a 4th down touchdown to A.J. Brown. How are you feeling about the offense so far?
Yeah, it turns out the run game serving as X-lax for Lane Johnson's constipated offense. They kind of took the air out of it, like you said. But I think the big thing, I mean, pass protection has been really tough so far.
Yes,
for Jalen Hurts. Really, yes, for both sides. But Jalen Hurts sacked on each of the first 3 possessions, and that's not winning formula. You look at all the numbers when it comes to if you have a sack on a drive, the chances of you scoring points on that drive plummet. And so they have got to protect Jalen Hurts better. And overall, some of those were on Jalen as well. I mean, it has not been a perfect half for him either, obviously.
Yeah, the eyes look like they're coming down a little bit quickly.
Yes.
He's also, on the touchdown to A.J. Brown on 3rd down, he's got Devontae Smith wide open on what seems like should have been the read on that mesh play, right?
Yep.
Turns it down. And then the touchdown to A.J., it's a little bit like the two of us are both like, oh, geez.
What are you doing?
It's like results over process on that one. Like, okay, 4th down, we're going to just throw it up to A.J. Brown again. But it's the throw that Jalen likes. He had a step. He does make a nice throw in the face of pressure.
Against their 4th corner.
Right.
They're starting
like you
corner.
identify that matchup.
Yep.
Like, that's reasonable. But aside from those 2 big plays, they have struggled to move the ball, I think, in large part because they're having some trouble protecting Saquon Barkley. The story here in his return to MetLife Stadium, getting those boos, but breaks out for that 55-yarder. 9 carries for 75 yards, which means 8 carries for 20 yards aside from the long run. But yeah, he does look spry, and he had that nice moment early on when he ran over Dane Belton.
Yes.
I like to see him running angry.
Yeah, you see the power from him evidently really every time he gets the ball in the run game or the pass game. That 55-yard run was a really well-designed sweep play. They went back to it on the very next play to Kenny Gainwell, where you get the pin blocks from the outside and then you have the puller out to the perimeter. And the puller there on that play was Cam Jurgens. And you saw the athleticism, him getting out in space, really opening up space for Saquon Barkley. And he just took off down the sideline. It was a really well-executed play there from the offensive line.
We'll break that one down in the post-game show as well. Jalen Hurts, 8 of 10 for 98 yards and a touchdown, but he has been sacked 4 times, a couple of them a little bit ugly. And of those 98 yards, 74 of them going to A.J. Brown on 4 receptions. So not exactly unexpected for the Eagles offense. Game plan-wise, anything you expect them to tweak in the second half? We've seen 3 plays of under center in this first half, so they've dialed that up a little bit. We've seen a little bit more motion, it seems like. It felt like that opening drive was a little rabbit-eared, like let's do these things that you don't think that we do. But a few other things in the offense. And most importantly, we saw one more snap for Ben Van Sumeren.
Of course. I went for positive yardage. So, that continues the upward trend there. I think the big thing is that they will have to get the pass protection sorted out because it hasn't just been, they can't block Dexter Lawrence. While they have had troubles blocking Dexter Lawrence. You've seen pressure off the right side, off the left side, certainly from the interior, and that is only going to hurt Jalen Hurts moving forward because, as you mentioned, we're seeing him drop those eyes a little bit. So if that pressure continues, those eyes are going to drop faster from Jalen as the game goes on. And so they have to try and find ways to build more confidence with Jalen, especially if it's going to be, if they're going to be this vertical outside the numbers offense, and that's going to be their bread and butter, like they want to lean into that.
Yeah, protect.
He's got to be settled. Yeah, you have to keep him confident in the pocket.
And we should note Mekhi Becton left this game and will not return with a concussion. Tyler Steen at right guard. And I think a player to watch because if Tyler Steen plays really well and Fred Johnson continues to struggle at left tackle, I think you might be wondering if that is a move that they make moving forward as Jordan Mailata is on injured reserve and they need to sort of get through these next few weeks. Defensively, much more encouraging. I know that this Giants offense is not good, but we've been saying for a few games now, like this is not a good offensive line. This is an opportunity for the D-line to get after it. Today they are. 5 sacks against Daniel Jones, and that is not an aberration. They have been all over Daniel Jones in this game.
Much like what I just said about the Eagles offensive line struggling against New York, the pressure is coming from all up and down the line with the Eagles. You saw Josh Sweat beating the left tackle. You saw Nolan Smith beat the left tackle for a sack, but they got off the right side. You saw Jalen Carter beat the interior, and so you're seeing the pressure come from up and down the line. to me, that is a really promising sign.
You won't even mention Bryce Huff's name. The guy got a sack.
He got a sack from a 4-point stance, no less. So again, showing that he doesn't need to be standing up, or he doesn't need to be have his hand in the dirt always. He wasn't too wide from the alignment there. He was able to win from a snug alignment there, Bryce Huff. So that was big for him.
Malik Neighbors, just like AJ Brown, is most of the Eagles offense in the passing game. Malik Neighbors 4 for 41.
Yep.
Not much else going for the Giants passing game. Daniel Jones 13 of 19 for just 93 yards, and they can't run the ball at all. Tyrone Tracy 2 for 3. Devin Singletary 1 for 1. Daniel Jones 5 for 20.
Yeah, the QB run game has been their best bet there, both with Daniel Jones running those design runs, but then also the scramble. We saw the 9-yarder there on their final drive. But look, the Eagles will have to continue to tighten up the back end, make sure that they're not letting Neighbors run loose. We saw some opportunities there in the middle of the field. Darius Slayton dropping that dig route over the middle that was thrown behind him from Daniel Jones. Slayton was very open there in the middle of the field, and so. Outside of that, you're kind of nitpicking at that point. The rush has been really good. The run defense has been really good. If the defense can continue that way, this should be a nice, easy Eagles victory. But they'll need to do that in the second half.
And if you would imagine that if the Giants are chasing this game, you're going to have some more opportunities for interceptions, for turnovers. C.J. Gardner-Johnson drops one on what would have been probably, Jalen Jones might not throw that ball if Jalen Carter doesn't jump early, and then Reed Blankenship catches it, gets called back. Quinyon Mitchell drops an interception down the field.
One. Yep.
A tougher one, but like
it was a tougher one. I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that's like a punt almost.
Well, yeah, he should have definitely made that catch. But I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, you guys got stone hands. It's happened like 4 times this season now.
Yeah, well, I think the big one is that at least they're getting their hands on the ball. They're not giving up the explosives. Okay. I do think that those will tend to come. I think that's it. But that's why we always laugh. Like there's the volatility and the randomness when it comes to turnovers. Is that sometimes the ball bounces your way that way.
All right, the Eagles will be set to get the ball to start the second half here. So I do think you're right. The barometer for the Eagles in the second half here is that Eagles fans can breathe in the fourth quarter. This is not a close game.
Yes.
Down the stretch, if the Eagles win this game by 2 scores, everybody relax and move forward. Like, okay, they have done some things. They have answered some questions. If this game gets close, it's going to be ugly. But we'll see what happens.
Cooper DeJean, special teams, a couple nice returns.
He looks feisty.
There was some good stuff from Cooper on a couple of those.
Yeah, and to the point where he keeps going so much that you're like, oh no, someone's going to come hit him from the blind side.
Punch it out.
Come out. But yeah, he does look good. All right, we will see what the Eagles do in the second half, and of course, we will be here for the post-game show after the game, presented by Bet365, with myself, Fran Duffy, Jamie Lynch, Vinny Curry, all of us talking about what could be a 1-0 start for the Eagles in the division. So enjoy the second half, everybody. We will talk to you in a couple hours, and as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.